What's up, gold diggers? This is Brian Pfeiffer coming at you from my laptop here in Las Vegas. It is Thursday night, so I'm kind of giving you guys a little bit of a pre excitement here. But you're going to be seeing this on Saturday or Sunday over the weekend. Glad you guys could make it to Las Vegas. Unfortunately, I had a prior commitment, and I'm going to be in Chicago on Saturday night for a large event that I hold, which I'm going to talk about here in a minute. And basically, I wanted to give you guys some good stuff. Ronnie asked me to, give you guys some advice. We kind of chatted a minute about, my business out here and what I'm doing as far as, with my media buyers and whatnot. And just to give you guys some ideas, the goal, I think, of this presentation and the content I'm going to give you guys, I don't think everything's going to apply to everybody, but maybe you can get a golden nugget or two or spark an idea for something in the future. And that's what I'm going to try to do today is give you guys some ideas. I'm kind of a serial entrepreneur, and ever since I've moved out here to Vegas, my business has gone up, up, and up. I've been out here about, this is my sixth summer now, so not quite 6 years, but about 5.5 years. And, things are going pretty well. So I think there's some things that I can show you guys that I'm doing out here, and maybe that's going to spark some excitement in some of the stuff that you guys are doing, and potentially, maybe give you an idea to do something with your own businesses and whatnot. Okay, so let's get started. Fortunately, you guys are ad buyers, so you'll probably be excited to see this. Let me refresh the screen here. I think this is, yep, here we go. This is refreshed. So we're just about 10K for today. We got a ClickBank offer we are running, and we're crushing it. We're doing big numbers here, so I'm not going to tell you guys what the offer is, but let's just say it's on ClickBank, and let's just say it's going well, and we're running at about a 2-to-1 ROI right now. So we're going to try to scale up over the weekend. As you can see, we've been running this for a little bit of a while now, trying to figure it out, and we did spend a lot of money to figure this out, by the way. Don't think we just went and started running this and it was profitable off the gate. We did have pretty good profit off the gate, and then we've been optimizing, and now we've got it to the point where it's about 2-to-1. So we're going to try to scale it to about 7,500 ad spend this weekend. So hopefully anywhere from 14 to 16K gross this weekend. Hopefully. Now that's provided, as you know, Facebook could shut us down at any minute, or the offer could get paused, or any number of things that could happen. And that's kind of why I wanted to start out this presentation is, you guys are ad buyers, you obviously get it. I'm sure you've had an account shut down by Facebook. I'm sure you've dealt with offers being paused, and I'm sure you've dealt with other things that come up in this industry that can be sort of unfortunate incidents, I guess would be the the best way to describe it. But when you got something running like this, literally, like, I'm moving all the money out of my trading account right now, my crypto account, and moving money out of all my savings accounts so I can keep this thing running. We're on like weeklies, but it's about 2 weeks behind. So if you do the math, and we're running 7,500 a day at 2 weeks, you're talking about 14 days roughly. You got to float over $100,000 in capital. So then that's a combination between credit cards and actual liquid cash. So that's what we're floating right now, basically over this weekend, and that's about that's all about what I have in liquid right now. So so we're gonna be pushing it right to the limit. But the next big payout we should be pretty good. So if you do see some screwy stuff going on, I am working from a brand new Mac. I just got the 32 gig i9 4 terabyte MacBook Pro here, and I just literally hooked it up an hour ago. So I'm still playing around with some of the stuff here, but I think everything's working. So all right, so that's why I wanted to start. Let's talk about obviously we're running on Facebook. I'll give you guys that much information, and we're running on Facebook. Facebook's still the granddaddy of traffic. But let's go to Google Trends for 1 second, and I want to show you guys something in case you haven't looked at this recently. Let's look at Facebook traffic, and let's take a look at the trend. Okay, so if you guys haven't seen this, okay, this is going to be the past 12 months. Let's go more like lifetime, okay, because this is kind of my business. I've been running a business kind of off social media traffic since about 2000, probably 6 or 8 is when I first really started pushing Facebook. and got heavy into it about 2008 to 2010, and been on social media ever since. Now I started noticing kind of a drop off in this area here. Okay. In terms of like the people that were interacting with me on Facebook. You know how you get the notifications and you wake up every day and usually you have this little bell symbol here, and generally back in the day I can remember when I had like 50 or 60 just about every day. Well, now I wake up and it's usually about like 20 or 30. So I started noticing that like about a year and a half, 2 years ago, and I'm like, it's kind of interesting. And obviously I've been kind of keeping an eye on this, okay. And obviously what you guys can see here is this kind of a steady decline since about here, okay? So this was the peak in August of 2015, and since then it's kind of been a steady decline. Now there's been some spikes and whatnot, but that tells me that people are either becoming disinterested in the profile, they're using other social medias, they're potentially maybe they're not even getting onto Facebook, they're just going right to Messenger to communicate with people. They're using Snapchat, Instagram, Pinterest, whatever it is. So this is something to take note of here. Okay, I'm not I'll be the first to tell you with these numbers here that Facebook traffic still is very valuable if you can get a white hat campaign and you can get by the Facebook police and you can keep your account open. All the fun things that we've been dealing with for the last 6 months since the Cambridge Analytica stuff. The Facebook traffic is still a gold. It's still gold. Okay, but this trend concerns me. Okay, so. What I wanted to get to you guys is like, okay, what happens when Facebook traffic becomes so expensive that you can't make a profit in e-com and you can't make a profit in affiliate stuff anymore? And what happens, when you can't get another business manager because your IP is, blacklisted because we're affiliates and they hate us? What happens? What are you going to do? Okay. And I've seen this now firsthand. Okay, I had a guy working for me, and we couldn't keep a damn account open. We'd get something working, and the account would get shut down, and we struggled. I mean, we in the media buying side of things, we struggled for a good probably 3 or 4 months, and I think there's probably some people in this room that are in that same boat. I wouldn't be surprised. And what are you going to do? I mean, we're back on track. We're making money right now. We got one good offer. We kind of got another one that's firing a little bit too. But what are you going to do? I mean, what are you going to do if this is your only stream of income and Facebook, basically pulls a rug out from underneath you? What are you going to do? So, my idea with this presentation today is to try to give you guys some ideas of some of the other stuff that I'm doing that has kind of saved our ass, I guess would be lack of a better term, saved our ass over the last 6 months when the media buying stuff fell off. We were probably doing about, $30K a month profit in up until about April, even maybe into May. And then, from that point on, the business manager, shut down, just murdered us. I think we literally I have like 7 Facebook profiles I have access to, and I think I have 1 business manager left. And I do have another guy that's going to be giving me one, and then we managed to pull one other one from this other guy. So we kind of have technically access to 3 right now, and I've even started looking into buying more. So, obviously we have something working. We know this works. So if, we lose a business manager, it's not even like losing ad accounts these days. Back in the day, you get 800 ad accounts, you lose one, go on to the next one. We'll get the business manager going. We got 800 ad accounts, no big deal. Now they just shut down your whole business manager. So it's kind of interesting. And even now, when you sign up and get a business manager, you usually get 1 account, and then they have like some kind of system where they'll only give you like 5 at a time, and then maybe up to like 80. So the glory days are definitely coming to an end for the affiliates here on Facebook. I'm so glad we hit a campaign and we're making money, but I'm going to be a lot smarter with this money coming in and use this money to invest in other income producing things, just in case this Facebook thing goes away for us at some point. So I think you guys need to be concerned here with the future of what's going on with Facebook, and some of the ideas I'm going to show you today, maybe you can take those and roll with them over the next year and start building up something. Okay, so let's talk about some of the stuff that I've built up out here. Obviously, you guys have probably heard I'm from Las Vegas. I do have a VIP hosting company, and came out here, worked for Hakkasan and Wet Republic back in like 2013, learned the business from the inside out, went ahead and started my own, and then last year, about a year and a half ago now, I bought another company out, and so now I own multiple companies out here, multiple websites, and then my original one that I came out here with. And the business is definitely doing pretty well. So let's take a look at some quick numbers just to give you guys an idea, so you know you can understand what I'm talking about here. Because if you don't see the numbers, you guys are media buyers, you look at numbers all day. So this is this is stuff you can take to the bank. Okay, so this is last year's numbers. I didn't really keep good track of my numbers since I moved out here back in 2014 when I went on my own. But I did start keeping pretty good track in 2017 when I bought those other businesses. So as you can see from a year ago, 1 year, I'm up. Every single month I'm up. This month is kind of a spoof month because there was 5 weeks in August here, and there was 5 weeks or 4 weeks, or 5 weeks in September and 4 weeks in August, and flip-flopped in 18. There was actually this was actually 4 weeks, so there was one less week here. But we still almost, even with one less week, we still almost hit that number. So, but overall, what I'm looking at is this number here. We're about 24% up from a year ago. Okay, so from March till October, which is our season here. I mean, we do stay in business year round, but it is pretty slow from November to February. But March to October, we're over $300,000. We'll probably finish out the year somewhere in the 350, 360 range. And this is pretty much like the revenue we make that my company brings in. I have to pay my sales rep out of that. I have to pay my SEO guy. I have to pay all the expenses to host the websites and insurances and all the other stuff that comes out of there. So it's not exactly what I take home, but I do pretty well. At the end of the day, this number is probably take a third, or take 2/3 of that, and that's probably what I do on the VIP hosting company, and that's generally in a season that's only 8 months, so not bad money. Okay, so what have I done to go up 24% in 1 year? I mean, that's for most businesses, that's a pretty good increase. It's not like the economy got 24% better in the last year. If anything, it's maybe gotten a little bit worse, especially recently. So at least it's not gone up tremendously that much. Okay, maybe it's gone up inflation-wise 1 or 2%, and it's probably stayed about the same as 2017. I think overall we probably have about the same amount of customers, maybe a few more, but we've been able to maximize the customers that we do have a little bit more. So let's talk about some of the things that I've done to kind of build up this business out here. And maybe you could take some of these ideas, like I said, and incorporate them into some kind of business that you could be doing, like a side hustle. Maybe you're media buying full time, and your side hustle could be maybe growing some kind of business. Because at the end of the day, I know a year from now, in October of 2019, I'm going to do roughly $30,000. Like, I already know that. Like, that's predictable income. With Facebook, I can't tell you what I'm going to be doing a year from now. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to run traffic on Facebook in a year from now. Okay, or Google, or anywhere for that matter. Okay. Those are not platforms that you control. These websites, I own the hosting, I own the domain names, I control these. Okay. Now, granted, if the economy completely shits the bed and everybody runs out of money because they're not making any money, that's going to affect my business. Okay. This is a entertainment type of business. People come out here to come to Vegas to spend money, and that's how we make our money off their spending. So if the economy goes to shit, well, then my October or September or any month for that matter is going to be down a little bit, but that's really not in my control. What is in my control is the stuff that I can do, especially now in the off season when we're a little bit slower, and what I did last year in the off season to make this business, that much better from a year ago. And, hopefully next year I can do some things this off season and be up another, 20, 25% next year. I think it's completely doable. Okay. So let's talk about some of the stuff that I've done here, the reasons, okay? I didn't really have that good of a follow-up system in place for the leads that were coming in. I mean, granted, being a media buyer, I should know that, everybody needs to be touched anywhere from 5 to 7 times before they're going to buy, okay? So the fact that I didn't have a great system in place before, it was kind of like a manual, archaic system where I would just, go through a list. Every day I had a certain amount of people that I would hit for a certain amount of weeks out, and I would manually hit them up. Well, now I built out an entire Infusionsoft system. Now, it took me my VP of sales, and my VA, it took us a month, literally a month of almost working full time. Last February, even in early March, we literally built out almost like 800 campaigns. Okay, we built out campaigns for the problem with my business is I have like 4 websites. I have a VIP hosting website, I have a bottle service website, I have a bachelor website, and I have a bachelorette website. So they're all like kind of separate, but they all kind of are the same a little bit. It all there's packages and stuff, and they're different for each one. And But the fact of the matter is, for every single campaign I had to build out, I had to build it times four. Okay, so imagine doing, the packages for the ladies from, we put it into numbers like 3 through 20 because those are the typical numbers that people come to Vegas with, and then we have to do 3 through 20 for the packages for website A, and then we have to do 3 through 20 for website B, C, and D. So right there, you're talking about 17 times 4. And now you start adding them up, the campaigns and the amount of campaigns we literally had to build out was mind blowing. It was literally like 800 some campaigns. It's like insane. So, we literally spent a month, literally full time, building out these campaigns, putting the graphics in. We had my VA was doing the graphics, and we were building them out. I mean, they're really nice emails. I mean, this thing is like so robust, this system, like it's just ridiculous. Now, these people get hit up with like follow-up emails, voice drops, text messages, more emails. People like respond to the text messages too. Like they'll get the text and then they'll get a voice drop and they'll be like, "Yeah, I saw I missed your call this morning." And I'm like, I was sleeping, but they don't know that. So like the voice drops work really well, and it just touches people more. Okay, so that's definitely one of the reasons that we're up, I think, is that Infusionsoft system we built out. Now, you can use any autoresponder system. Infusionsoft's one of the better ones, I think. Their deliverability isn't grand. I'll give them that, or I won't give them that. But their systems in terms of building out their campaigns and their apps pretty rock solid. There's a ton of them out there. There's literally so many different autoresponder systems out there. Just pick one, go with it, learn it, and do the work, grind it out, and build yourself a nice follow-up system for your customers. I just chose Infusionsoft because I've been with them for a long time. It's not the easiest system to learn, and it took me a while to really get it. I'm by no means an Infusionsoft expert. I'm good enough to run my business, which is all you need. You need to be good enough to make it work for your business. That's all that matters. You don't need to know every single intricacy to some of these autoresponder systems because Infusionsoft's way deeper than what I even know, but you certainly can just get good enough at it that you can build out your own campaigns. I would not go out. This is a golden nugget here. I would not go out and hire somebody to build out your campaigns like on Upwork or even like some of these companies like Sixth Division was one of the companies I used, and they were terrible. I used another company called Seven Figure Automation to build out a couple campaigns for me for Infusionsoft. And what I found is they charge you a ton of money up front, and then they ultimately deliver a campaign or two that if you really knew what you were doing, you can actually build it out yourself in like a day. So charging you $2,500 to build a campaign that you can do it for a day, in a day's work, and then you know how to use it and change it and stuff. Don't spend your money on these outside companies. Trust me, just learn the stuff, take a class, go through the Infusionsoft University. I've been to that, and just learn it and do it yourself. Okay, that's a golden nugget. So take that to the bank. Learn how to build out your own autoresponder system. You'll save a ton of money and a lot of headaches. Typically what happens at the end of the day, these guys don't understand your business, and they try to build out these campaigns, and they don't even work for you anyway because they don't understand your business. You know in your head what you need to do to get these campaigns to work for you. And when you know that and you know how to build out the campaign, you just build it out. Okay, so that's a golden nugget. I also added a VP of sales to my company. I was doing everything on my own, like in 2017, doing all the sales calls, doing all the, it was a lot of work, trust me. When you follow up on these leads, these internet leads typically only close at a ratio of maybe 1 out of 10, and there's a ton of work involved. So now I hired a VP of sales. He pretty much handles all the internet stuff, and I handle all my repeat customers and referrals and whatnot. And I'll show you some other tricks that I use to drive leads here in a minute. But having him on board was huge. I mean, obviously I got to take his salary out of there, but I actually have a life now, and I can enjoy my life a little bit and start working on some of these other projects I'm going to show you here in a few, because he's part of the team and I don't have to worry about these dang internet leads. Okay, the internet leads, I mean, they add up. I mean, that's one of the reasons why you see these numbers in the 300 range is because the internet leads are probably half that business. The other half came from my old business and my referrals and whatnot, but that internet business leads about doubled my overall sales. So I did start spending about $1,000 a month to $1,300 a month on Google AdWords. So that's another way to drive some more traffic. That puts us right at the top of the page. We rank pretty well for most of the terms we go after, but having it right in that top where, there's running 4 ads pretty much these days, and you're right there on the top for bachelor parties, bachelorette parties. We do get quite a bit of leads from that. I think it does. I don't think we make a ton of money on the overall spend versus what we make, but it does help the company grow some more. Maybe we'll get a referral out of it. Maybe we'll get a repeat customer. So there is some LTV there on the customers we do get. LTV stands for long-term value of a customer. So Uh, we started offering some more packages. Like we started doing stuff with the Golden Knights last year. We've actually sold one of those already this year. We started, it's kind of like a package where they go to the Knights game, maybe a dinner and a strip club all in one night. We book it all. We started doing some stuff with Top Golf. We started incorporating just more like basically what has to differentiate us in Vegas. And this is another golden nugget for you guys to write down: is you have to add value somehow. I mean, Russell Brunson talks about this with ClickFunnels and somewhat. If you're the cheapest guy in town, all you're going to do is just run yourself out of business, okay? And we're not trying to be the cheapest company in town, but we are trying to add the most value and give people like an awesome experience when they come out to Vegas. So yeah, are we competitive? Absolutely, we're competitive, but we're not the cheapest people in town. We don't try to be the cheapest people in town. We don't. Typically, what happens is I've found over the years is if you go after the cheapest people, you get like terrible reviews. You get upset customers that are hard to deal with. Generally, the people that have a little bit more money are the ones that you really want to deal with, not the people that are like just buying strictly on price. That's a huge golden nugget for you guys. Okay, so we've been adding more content to the sites. I have a part-time content writer. Actually thinking about after this Halloween event that I'm going to be doing here this weekend, potentially hiring more of a full-time type of content writer for all the stuff I got going on, and it's a possibility. The content is huge on the the Google algorithms and whatnot to get your sites ranked, keep the content fresh. It's definitely huge. I'm going to show you some numbers here in a little bit and just give you guys some ideas of what I'm talking about here. So obviously we invest some money back into the content. Obviously more social media. I'm going to show you guys some Pinterest and some Instagram stuff that I kind of, I just got going basically around the first of the year last year, and it's been helping us a lot, drive more traffic. And then of course the review game. Okay, I want to show you guys some reviews and whatnot and show you some of the stuff that we've been doing and that definitely helps the overall thing. I look at it kind of like as in this business and in any business for that matter, it's like a wheel of traffic. Okay, you do a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit here, a little bit there, and next thing you know, this wheel starts spinning, okay? And then you start doing a little bit more here, 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 and the wheel just starts spinning faster and faster and faster. So visualize in your head a wheel spinning. It's like a wheel of traffic, okay? And every time you do, you do some hard work and increase, that you give it another little bolt of energy, that wheel, it's just going to keep spinning and it's going to start spinning faster and faster. Next year, hopefully we'll be up another 20%, maybe another 20% after that. And we just keep doing things to, constantly grow the company. And then at some point, I'm 46 right now, and maybe the next, 3 to 5 years, I may want to just sell this company. And if I'm doing numbers of say 500K a year in profit, roughly, okay, that company's probably going to be worth about 2.5 million. Okay, that's just some rough numbers. You got to find the right buyer in a scenario like this in a services business. I know that, but the fact of the matter is, there's going to be some value to sell and possibly retire on, or at least take that money and roll it into something else, and some kind of passive type income where I don't have to work anymore. Okay, so the problem with you guys as media buyers, you're running traffic and you're making somebody else's, you're building customers for somebody else. Okay, you're not really building any kind of business or backbone for the future. Okay, now you can make a ton of money, like I just showed you guys. We're killing it right now with the campaign, but there's really no backbone. Okay, I can honestly say this business has been paying my mortgage and paying my car payment, and I've been able to live off this business since 2002. Okay, 2002. We're talking about like 16 years now, going on 17, that I've been living off this business. Okay, and now I'm starting to make some really good money, well over 6 figures a year, and I'm starting to take some of that money and I'm starting to invest it into other things. And now I'm really starting to make some money, because now I got that, plus I got investments, plus I got the affiliate stuff, and it's like, there goes that wheel of traffic I was talking about. You just keep putting a little bit more in every year, and pretty soon you're gonna be able to walk away from this thing as a very happy individual. Okay, so let's get off this thing. I'm gonna show you guys some things just to give you some examples of things that I'm talking about. This is my Halloween event. Okay, let's refresh the screen. This Halloween event is actually going to be happening this weekend, so probably while you're watching this, it's going to be happening tonight. We're at 1,925 tickets sold. Our capacity is 2,200 this year. Now, this does not count some of the tables and the comps we're going to have to give out. So we're likely going to sell this thing out probably maybe Friday, or for sure probably Saturday day. We might make some available at the door for last minute people, just because people get so crazy when they can't get in and they freak out. It just is a lot of headaches if we don't put some available at the door. But we're going to sell this thing out. Okay, so now this is my 4th year. I did run some Facebook ads on this. Not a lot. You can see here, this was a retargeting campaign I did here. And I didn't even have to spend that much money on this particular campaign because we are doing so well on sales. But here was a retargeting campaign. 22 purchases. I've spent $90. We're only paying about $4.11 per purchase, which is actually pretty cheap. I'll take that. And then, we had this Halloween campaign. I think I spent ongoing. Let's see. This is I only was doing the retargeting for the last couple weeks anyway. Let's go back here. I think I started this in September. So we'll go there. And I've spent about $500. Now, this was a pretty cool ad. We had a video that we took, and let's see here. I think I was running it two different. Yeah, it was like a video, and basically, let's see if we can. It was kind of a funny looking video here of like this raccoon guy. Okay, it kind of makes you like when you're looking at it on your news feed, like what the hell? It's like a big giant raccoon head. It's like funny. We put a couple emojis in there. And we used the same video last year, and it did really well for us. And basically, we did the same exact thing this year. We were, the cost per engagement, per post engagement was like less than 2 cents. So it did pretty well for us. Like I said, though, this is an established event, and we sold out. This is the 4th year now. So we could probably not even advertise on Facebook, to be honest with you, and Google, and probably would have sold out or come close. But it's nice to have that extra little layer in there. So this is another income stream. That's what I was talking to you guys about. I started this party 4 years ago when I realized my first year in Vegas that, wow, you don't make any money from November to January. I better get something going. So that's when I partnered up with a guy. I'm a 50-50 owner on this event, and we started this Halloween party. We also got a New Year's event that we're going to be doing at the same venue. And this year I own 25% of the New Year's. I own 50% of the Halloween party. But those are nice. Those are nice checks that come in the slowest time of year for me for Vegas. And I own part of a nightclub in Las Vegas that I invested in. This is now my 3rd year, and we just about got fully paid back on that. I think probably the next payout is going to be a payback, and then we're going to be in the profit on that. So that's going to be, a payout every quarter and another income stream. Okay, so I got the Halloween, I got the New Year's event, and then I got the nightclub that pays me out quarterly. Okay, and those are all investments that I've been able to make because of money that I've made in the one business and the affiliate stuff. So what I'm trying to do is give you guys some ideas here of things you can put your money into or figure out to generate some nice, consistent side income. Okay, now I can't live off the 20 grand a year I make on the nightclub, and I can't live off the 20 grand I make on the Halloween party, and probably the 20 grand I make on New Year's this year. But I make 60 grand a year, and I don't even live in Chicago. Okay, I'm going to go there for the Halloween event and miss out on hanging out with you guys, but the fact of the matter is, I don't even have to be there, okay? And, making 60 grand a year passively. I mean, we do a little bit of work. I had to set up these campaigns and whatnot, but it wasn't, one day I can set up all this stuff easy. So, that just gives you guys an idea of, maybe start thinking in your head what you could do as like a side hustle to start building that backbone, okay? Because you're going to want to build a backbone. And, when Facebook, cut our legs out in, May last year, I was like, whatever. May's one of my, May's one of my busiest months of the year. I mean, we did $42,000. I wasn't too worried about it. It's not like the bills weren't getting paid. Okay. So, now did I miss the 30 grand a month? Well, of course I did. Everyone would miss that. But, at least we had a backup plan. Okay. So make sure you're working on your backup plan. All right. So let's take a look at a few other things here, before I close out. Hopefully you guys are getting some value today. I mean, I'm trying to pretty much giving you guys like the blueprint of my business and my, probably $500,000 life that I'm living right now. So definitely want to give you guys the nuggets here because Ronnie's my boy. So some of the stuff that I've been building up that I started kind of like at the first of the year. Remember I mentioned earlier, I mentioned Instagram and I mentioned Pinterest. Now, I started noticing a trend about a year ago, even maybe a little longer. People are really like, a lot of people are like, I'm not really on Facebook, I'm just on Instagram. And I heard this younger kid, he was like 21, and I'm like, what's your Facebook? He's like, he acted like I was like, funny that I asked him that. He's like, I got Instagram, I don't have Facebook, like Facebook's not cool anymore. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, that's a wake up call here. Maybe I'm on the wrong platform. Okay. So I started looking at Instagram a little bit deeper. So here's one of my accounts. Now, mind you, I started this account probably in 2013 when I moved out here. Got it up to 5,000 followers pretty quickly. And then I like sat on it for like 3 years. I didn't do stuff with it. I took a few pictures here and there, but I wasn't trying to build it. Okay, so in the last year, when I figured out that Instagram was a hot platform right now, I'm like, I better start going all in. So this is just one of my Instagram accounts. I've got it up over 11K now. I think you can actually put links in the stories now. I haven't really experimented around with that. Once you hit 10K, you can start to do that. And I have noticed that when you do get above 10K, it does seem to grow a little bit faster. Like I went from 10 to 11 like quick, like in like a month. Okay, so it's growing pretty fast right now. I am trying to put some stories up there, make it look really legit. I just post a lot of stuff that has to do with events and whatnot, Halloween. My VA does all this. Okay, by the way, I don't sit there and post hardly any of this stuff. I do these stories when I'm out here and there. I throw them up there because those are live and whatnot. And I'm pretty good at shooting that kind of stuff. I've taken pictures for like 16 years in the club industry. At my events, but all this kind of stuff, we have a software. If you guys want to write this down, we use what's it called, Hopper HQ. Okay, that's the software we use to post from desktops. So my VA does that. I think I have like the 8-account program because I'm growing like 8 accounts at once. And we don't get a ton of likes and stuff on these posts, but it has been growing pretty well. We do get some leads, especially in the busier season. We'll get some leads for tables and bachelor parties and bachelorette parties. It's not a ton, but overall, when somebody lands on one of my websites like Surreal Nightlife and they start poking around, well, let's see if they're legit. Okay, we'll go over to their Instagram. Wow, their Instagram has 11,000 followers. Well, let's take a look at their Pinterest. Okay, here's the Pinterest for that one. Let's take a look at their Pinterest. Okay, that's another. That's Yelp. Where's it at here? I thought I had it pulled up. Oh, I do here. It's Pinterest. Okay, let's take a look at their Pinterest. Well, look at this. I mean, we got 3K engaged monthly and 48K monthly viewers. That looks pretty legit, So, like, all this stuff, like, helps build your online trust. Well, let's take a look at their Yelp. Okay, here's Surreal Nightlife and Bottle Service. 94 5-star reviews. Well, that's pretty legit, So, like, all this stuff, when a customer comes in, to our world from the UK or Australia or Brazil or Mexico, and we get customers all over the globe, and US of course, and they see that the 94 reviews on Yelp, they see a massive Pinterest account, they see a pretty significant Instagram following, that makes them realize that this is not a fly-by-night company. Obviously, this is a legit company that we should probably listen to what they have to say because they really know what they're talking about. Obviously, if they've invested this much time to build up 94 reviews and have a Pinterest following of 48K monthly views and an Instagram of 11,000 subscribers, they obviously are doing something right. Okay, so. That's what I'm trying to show you guys here. All this stuff takes time. So, I've hired a VA. I have a full-time VA. She kind of runs all my Pinterest. She runs pretty much all my Instagrams during the week. On the weekends, I'm out taking pictures. I don't mind doing that when I'm out and about. But, all this stuff can be done by a VA. We're talking about a lot of work here. Mind you, I have the bottle service company I just showed you. I have the bachelor party company, the bachelorette party company, and the VIP hosting company. So every one of those has its own Pinterest and Instagram and Yelp and Google reviews. So think about the amount of work that we have to put in weekly just to maintain all those sites and all those different social media platforms, YouTube, everything. So there's a lot going on. I mean, we do have a lot going on. So, and I pretty much do it with myself, a VP of sales, and a VA. That's it. There's only 3 of us really, and I have an SEO guy that helps out maintaining the website. So 4 of us technically. So hopefully you guys can kind of see now what I'm talking about here. Like here's the bachelor party company. Here's a little pop-up that I had done with Infusionsoft and whatnot, just to show you guys. You can always go and take a look at what we did here on bachelorvegas.com. Interesting here. This site does really well. It's one of my biggest sites by far. And if you take a look here, when you Google like bachelor parties Las Vegas, now we don't rank particularly well in the organic. You'll see us up here a lot of times running our AdWords. We're usually in the top 4, but we don't rank here per se. These are definitely some of our competition. Sin City Parties is kind of like that cheap company I was telling you about, but we do rank right here. We are in the 3-pack, which is a great spot to be. And look at these reviews, 147 5-star reviews. Okay, that is insane. Look at the next closest guy is like 33. Okay, we're crushing everyone here. I mean, these are like, this is a shooting range. This is a hotel, so I don't count them. The companies that we compete with, the next closest one's like 34. Okay, and we're at 100 and almost 150. Now, when you do get to 150 on reviews on the Google side of things, you'll actually get these little stars that'll pop up next to your URL showing like the 5-star reviews. So we're 3 reviews away. We'll be hitting that in the next week or two, and we should start seeing those little stars in our, here's our ad. But you'll start to get, you see these stars right here? You'll get these stars when you hit 150. Okay, so that just, it helps a little bit. I think people will see that there's, 140, 150 reviews on a Google AdWords. I think it's going to make people like more likely to click on it and more likely to book with us. Okay, so we've been working pretty hard. We went from like 30 reviews a year ago to like 146 in 1 year. So that's a lot of reviews to put up, legit reviews from customers on different IP addresses and stuff. There's no fake ones in there. Those are all real customers. So we have a system in place, just to make sure that we try to hit people up, at least 2, 3, 4 times for a review. I mean, you get to a point, and if they're not going to do it, they're not going to do it. But most of the time, after 3 or 4 hit-ups, they're going to write your review because they're like, this guy's not going to stop. Okay? So another golden nugget there. Make sure you follow up on your reviews. Don't just hit up people once and expect them to do a review. It won't happen. You got to hit them up like 3 or 4 times to get a review. Trust me. 3 to 4 times, they're going to be like, this guy's not going to stop. I got to get this review done. Okay. So we have a system in place, and we actually go through a spreadsheet every week, and we make sure we go back through the old ones for, we keep it around about 5 weeks out. So if they haven't given a review, we've hit them up 4 times, well, then we kind of just give up. But if, after 3 or 4 times, generally they'll leave you a review. Okay. So that's a big golden nugget there. So that's pretty much like my business, okay? We got the Pinterest going on, we got the reviews, we got the Instagram going on. We do have YouTube channels as well. It's kind of hard to do video for all these companies. There's no way I don't want to be in every single company's like videos and on the reviews, because there's an opportunity for Google to possibly say we're cornering a market type of thing. Now, they all are separate companies. Bachelor parties, bachelorette parties, VIP hosting, and bottle service are all technically different companies, okay? But the last thing I want to do is be like showing up in every single one of these is YouTube, and then Google can be like, well, this guy, he's everywhere. So, you got to be a little bit careful in order to avoid the Google police. So it's hard to make video and stuff for that many channels. It just is. I mean, I have my own YouTube channel. As I lead into that here, I wanted to show you guys. Oh, I just wanted to show you guys some stats here too. This is one of my websites that we started. We actually hand coded this into HTML5, got rid of the WordPress. And this is the last, started in May here, and mid-October 2018. And you can see we've had some nice growth, okay, and we're getting some nice growth. Now we're going into the slower season here, so I think this is just because it is less traffic on the website for people looking for Vegas and whatnot. But this site's actually doing pretty good. We're going to be going heavy on a forum for this site in the next month, and we're going to grow that and potentially be able to start selling some advertisement on the forum. That's another income stream. We're going to be doing some stuff to really take this site to the next level. We're going to be adding more content and whatnot, but it's starting to pick up. This is the Surreal Nightlife and Bottle Service website. So Surreal Nightlife here, okay? And if you go on Surreal, you can see we have, now we're going to be adding, sooner or later when we get time, we're going to be adding Miami to this too. And then we also bought Bachelor Party Miami, I believe, or Miami Bachelor Party or something like that. It's a good domain, like an EMD, an exact match domain. And so we're going to be building out Miami Bachelor Parties, and we're going to have bachelormiami.com or bachelorpartymiami.com, and then Surreal's going to have a Miami thing, so we can play them off each other a little bit, and the forum as well. So, like I said, we're constantly adding stuff. We're doing another push on the wheel. Okay, every time we do something, we add something more. We're going to have apps for these sites pretty soon as well, and a central event system that populates all of them with all the events in Vegas and Miami and whatnot. So all these things are just, every time we get something done and we put another, we give it another push to that wheel of traffic. Okay, and eventually this thing's going to be a machine. It already is a machine, but it's going to be even more of a machine. Okay, so be thinking about that. What can you do to start building a machine? I'm going to show you guys now to kind of close this out, kind of what I'm doing with my personal brand, because I've done 2 product launches last year in 2017. We did info product launches for Facebook affiliate marketing, and they both went really well. I think collectively between the 2, we did about $400,000 in launch, and I had to pay out affiliates out of that and my media buyer and stuff. It wasn't all profit, don't get me wrong, but it was a nice launches. Okay, so I've always had it in the back of my head to come up with like an educational company and become like an authority in this business. The info marketing and education, online education system business. So I've really kind of gone all in this year. I've been doing YouTube videos now since about January, and I have my own personal brand here. You can see I'm up to about 900 subscribers, which is not a lot. Okay, I'm not bragging about that or anything. I was hoping it was going to grow a little faster. I do honestly feel like when they did I started right around the time when they changed the monetization system and you needed 4,000 watch hours and 1,000 subscribers. And I honestly do feel like the algorithm changed and it's a lot harder to get to that level now. I could be wrong, but I've seen some other guys I've been kind of tracking that started around the same time I did, and they've all basically fallen off. One guy even just did a video like a couple weeks ago. He's like, I'm going to move on from YouTube for right now. May come back to it. I'm just not making any money with it. And another guy, he just kind of fell off the map in the last month. He hasn't done a single video. I feel like the videos and shooting the videos 3 to 4 a week has become it's hard. It's hard to get content out. It's hard to edit them and make them look good. And if you're really not making any money with it, you can devote that time to something else that is making money. So, fortunately for me, I've been able to still maintain my businesses and continue to grow my YouTube channel. Now, I do, if you would subscribe, I'd love, really appreciate you in the audience there. Go ahead and search for Brian Pfeiffer, and you'll see me up there. Go ahead and subscribe. Would love a few more subscribers as I'm pushing toward 1,000 here by the end of the month of November. I'm hoping I can get to 1,000, and then I want to get to that 4,000 watch hours before January, because that's kind of when I started my whole year-long thing. So I haven't. I'm at about 2,600 watch hours right now, so that's going to be a little harder to hit. The 1,000 I'll hit, but the 2,500 watch hours or the 4,000 watch hours is going to be a little tougher. So, but I'm still going to go all in on YouTube here. I'm going to give it another full year. See if I can catch some traction. Take another note here. This is a golden nugget. YouTube to me, and I think to most people out there, is the new email list. Okay, for the next 10 years, email is very tough. Okay, it's hard to get stuff to not pop into spam. It's hard to get people to open the emails. I think that going all in on YouTube for the next 1 to 2, 3 years is going to be your list. That's going to be your authoritative list. If people watch your videos, they know you, they see you, they like you, and they trust you, and that's the people that are going to buy from you. I haven't even done a product launch or even offered a product since I started doing YouTube in January. Okay, and I put out a ton of videos. I don't know how many I have on here, but it's a lot. I don't even know if it says here how many I have, but you can see here. You go back and you can see when I kind of started. I've put out a ton of content, a ton. And I've never once asked anybody to buy a product of mine. Now, I've got a couple things like some of the Instagram programs I use. I use Follow Adder. I have an affiliate link I put up for that. And I've actually got some people to buy it. So I've made some money on my affiliate link for Follow Adder. That's one of the programs I do actually use. So, and I'm not getting a ton of views here. Maybe like consistently they'll end up with like 30 to 50 views. Some of the ones go a little more viral, a couple hundred. I'm not killing it by any means on YouTube, but I'm getting good on video and I'm more comfortable editing my videos. I plan on learning Premiere here, maybe in the slow season here. I do just use Camtasia right now, but I plan on learning Premiere and getting better on that. And I do have a nice camera. So, and if the funds are there and I decide I want to maybe hire like more of like a part-time video editor / cameraman to maybe shoot maybe a couple days of the week and get enough content for the rest of the week, I'm considering doing that maybe in 2019 and kind of going more even all in than I already have on this video, and maybe putting out like an evergreen type of product for the affiliate marketing and whatnot, and hopefully starting to generate some like consistent revenue from the product and whatnot. So that's what I kind of wanted to show you guys, what I'm doing with the personal brand. And I have a blog as well. I started doing some more blogs on this. I actually just released a couple this week. I think I put out 3 this week, and these took a lot of time, don't get me wrong, but I did some nice keyword research. I put a lot of effort into the keywords that were possibly could rank. And if you take a look at the analytics here, you can see I started messing around with my blog, and it's been going up and up. So this is another potential way to get leads and get people into my system. Now, this is more for the informational product side, but I'm putting in the work. Okay, I'm putting in the work. I'm spending long hours, late nights, writing blogs, putting them in, doing the keyword research. My VA and I are coming up with nice pictures and graphics and whatnot. I'm actually going to be coming out with a couple of ebooks and whatnot very soon for my lead magnets. And then I'm going to go all in. I'm going to go all in the next 2 to 4 months with this info product side of business. I'm going to start running some paid traffic to my YouTube, paid traffic on Facebook and whatnot. Hopefully I can get away with it. And I want to just get more people into my system. And, honestly, for me, the difference between me and a lot of guys out there that are doing info products is I don't need the money. I'm not living off this money. So I'm going to do it right and spend the time, and I'll test. I'll do email. I'm going to get better on sending out emails consistently. I'm going to get better on, my videos and whatnot. And they'll better content, better quality videos, and, over time, better blog posts. All this stuff is going to be like a wheel of traffic, like I talked about for the other business. Every time I put out a nice blog post, a good video, it's another salesman online. It's like putting a billboard online, okay? Pure gold. You put a billboard online every time you put up a content piece on YouTube or on your blog, okay? That's a salesman that's up for you 24/7. So if you get anything out of today, start putting up some billboards, because that is like having somebody work for you 24/7 when you're sleeping, when you're out doing your fun stuff that you like to do. That's the way you're going to start making money and build generational wealth down the road, when you have this, wheels of traffic turning for you 24/7. Okay. So, that's it, guys. I really don't have anything beyond that. I just wanted to kind of show you guys all the stuff that I'm doing. I am working a lot of hours. I'm definitely not Tim Ferriss and his 4-hour work week. That's definitely not me, unfortunately. But I really do feel like there's a light at the end of this tunnel, and I feel like at some point when I'm able to sell the VIP hosting company or run it from a distance, potentially if I can't find the right buyer, and the info product business starts really taking off, hopefully after lots of testing and running ads and figuring out what works, there's going to be a lot involved with that as well. We already know that. More content, more videos, everything that comes along with that. I feel like I'm really going to have something that is eventually I'm going to be able to take a step back from and kind of reap the benefits, okay? And that's going to be the goal for all of you guys, is to build something up that you can eventually step back from and reap the benefits, because I think that's what all of us want to do in this life, is to be able to enjoy ourselves a little bit more and make a lot more money and have a lot of fun. So hope you guys enjoyed today. I'm Brian Pfeiffer, aka the Marketing Meathead. Thanks for letting me be part of your weekend here on Halloween in Vegas. We'll talk to you later. Thanks.